Yo guys, what's going on? Robert Warshack here, and we've got a new Demon Hunter legendary card to cover. This thing is looking very, very good. It's a 4-mana 2/6 demon battle cry. Your opponent can only play their left and right most cards on their next turn. So basically making your, like, as we know, Demon Hunter has OUTCAST where you normally have to cast the left and right most, but this is forcing your opponent to play as if they have OUTCAST, which of course they probably don't. So in my opinion, this is a very, very good card. We already know how good Blade Master is, which forces your opponent to have to play around it because they pick minion or a spell, and that card sometimes single-handedly wins games. Of course, when it's comboed with stuff like Bran or Bolinar, it's even better. Unfortunately, this card, if you like Bran it or you copy its battle cry the same turn, it really doesn't do anything because like copying this effect twice. But regardless, if you do play this card on curve, you're forcing your opponent to have to play the card that they top deck that turn or the card on the very left, which is a card they've kept in the mulligan. So whether you're playing this card for tempo on turn 4 or you're playing it later in the game, like you set up a pretty solid board and then you just play it, like let's say against like a priest, and you don't want them to use their field clear, the chances that their field clear are again the most left and most right cards in their hand is probably pretty low. So I'm thinking this card is going to be really, really good almost no matter when you play it. Again, stats aren't like huge on this, but I don't think that's why you play it. It's a battle cry, which means like you get the effect regardless if it lives the following turn or not. So I'm thinking this legendary is really good, and the effect is very, very spicy. The only thing though is it's a demon, right? So like if you're playing like a big demon hunter, like you wouldn't really want to play this alongside stuff like Pit Lord because it would pull that from your deck and then you wouldn't get the battle cry. So while the demon tag is sometimes good, like it does make it so this card won't see play in some Demon Hunter decks, especially the big ones. But right now, yeah, this card is it's going to be a fun card to play against people, and it is looking very, very nice. Heading on over to the Warlock cards, let's zoom out a little bit here. We have the first one being the Corpses. It's a 3-mana discover a friendly minion to resurrect, give it rush, and it dies at the end of the turn. So really good in my opinion. You can put this on a Death Rattle minion. You can put this on a Taunt minion. You could even put this on possibly a Charge minion and be able to resurrect it back that turn. And then when it dies, again, you'll get that effect. So Phylactery, this could be really, really good too because you play this and then you're able to Phylactery, and then you get the Phylactery Death Rattle as well if the minion has a Death Rattle, which could be interesting as well. It is a shadow card, so you can use this on top of Tamsin. So you go like Tamsin, Corpses, 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 activate this 4 times, and then depending if you have any discounts in your hand, you could Phylactery that turn as well. It's probably way overkill, but I just think of I try to think of the memeiest, most crazy shit. Like, what's the best case for this look like? What can we do that makes someone really upset and you really happy? So I think the Corpses is going to be a really good card for Warlock, and there's a lot of good uses for it, especially that it's shadow, especially that you can resurrect Death Rattle minions, and the fact that, again, it gives it rush. So it's going to be able to kill something when it comes out, and then you're going to be able to get that Death Rattle if it has one. The next one is Arson Accusation. It's a 2-mana fire card. Choose a minion, destroy it after your hero takes damage. This is choose a minion, can work on opponents and yours, which is pretty good. Makes it so if you ever do need to kill your own minion, whether it's a Death Rattle or not, you can do that. And then just having your hero take damage is like, you're going to tap a lot of the times as a Warlock. There's a lot of cards that make you take damage anyway. It would have been interesting if it said if your hero changes health, that would have probably made this card broken. So whether or not you heal life and or take life, it could kill a minion. But having your hero take damage, I mean, for 4 mana, you can draw a card and remove a card from your opponent because you can, use this and then just tap. So I think this card is going to be pretty darn good. Like, it's a 2-mana just kill something. Like, it seems really nice. And then we have Imposter. It's a 2-mana 1/1 demon battle cry. Choose a friendly imp, transform into a copy of it. So as we know, there's like the 4 mana for however big your hand is. It makes an imp the size of that. We also have like Rafam buffing imps. We have the Vile Library that can buff imps, and then this can turn into a copy of that. So a 2-mana basically turn into a copy of an imp. Seems almost like an auto include into any imp deck. especially like even Imp Gang Boss. I mean, there's just a lot of really powerful imps that you can copy and making a 2 mana version of, like, it's a 2 mana turned into whatever you want. So that's just, it's good, right? Like you would not play this card. So Imp decks got a buff. Accusation seems like great removal, and then Corpse seems like a fun card. So Warlock overall looks like they got some pretty good stuff heading into this mini set. Granted, I don't know where they line up because right now it's mainly just Imp Warlock you see with like a splash of Curse Warlock, and like this just helps Imp Warlock. This kind of just helps Curse Warlock, and then the corpses maybe they'll like Mine Warlock or something's back or some crazy Death Rattle Warlock. But yeah, these Warlock cards looking really good. The Demon Hunter card as well looking really good. So much better than our first look at cards when we were looking at those neutral cards that stopped secrets and stuff. So these are looking juiced, and we have more cards to review after this because more are pumping out today. So see you in the next video, of course, guys. As always, I'm Robert Warshack, and happy whatever the hell day it is.